Welcome, VOD watchers, to a special Dreams stream. The plan for today, the menu is actually playing A Long Time Ago, the new game by Media Molecule that they released in. That has a new meaning now, and we'll get to that. But no, I mean the new Dream that they released in Dreams, called A Long Time Ago, that I want to play, like for real. So that's gonna be the main thing, but I guess we cannot do a Dream stream or play Dreams now without discussing the elephant in the room or the LED in the room. That's a joke like no one in the audience has understood now. And I kind of want to explain it, but I'll do it later. Which is the news is that, as you can see here, there's an update to the live server support. The update is that it's not gonna get updated anymore. So basically the live development and support, it's not like, I guess it's development support, but also development and support. The news is that it's ending. Media Molecule have removed basically everything from the upcoming features officially confirmed and planned from the roadmap that they had published in their Trello board, in the public one at least, except Tren, which at least that's coming. So I'll definitely play that at some point when it comes out, and we know it's before September. So Tren, create mode update with, I guess, the final features people at Media Molecule were working in, and an animation update. I think that's everything that will be updated, and then it will only be critical bug fixes if needed. That is it. Media Molecule has confirmed that they are moving on and starting a completely new project that they've probably been working on for the past months at least, and that it is not Dreams related or Dreams 2 or the direct sequel to Dreams. So, like, sure, a new project for Media Molecule is exciting, because they have only released bangers, and their DNA of the company is the play, create, share experience. So it's definitely gonna be creativity based. But it felt like Dreams was like the culmination of creating in one of the in a Media Molecule game, and they had a confirmed 10-year plan that even Sony talked about, and well, we had big things that were officially promised for the future, with the two biggest ones being confirmed: 3D exporting and multiplayer. So Dreams will forever be a completely hermetically closed ecosystem, at least for games. I guess art, like images, animation, and music, is easily exportable, and importable in the case of audio, I guess. But Dreams will remain a closed ecosystem for games and sculptures, I guess. And will never have multiplayer. Which is very sad, because everyone, like, Little Big Planet was amazing. It was also pretty revolutionary. It was way before Mario Maker was a thing. I mean, because it's also like 2.5D and it's not 3D like Dreams. And I feel like, to me, Little Big Planet was important because it let you create things and levels and games and everything. But to a lot of people, the main attractive point of Little Big Planet was sharing the experience with people, and not in the publishing their creations, but in the actually getting to play with someone else and gathering up somewhere and having fun with someone else in multiplayer. And I feel like a lot of people have memories from Little Big Planet of like from those days in that regard. And a lot of people had not made a jump to Dreams because it was lacking that. And Dreams had an amazing opportunity to just appeal to literally everyone that was in Little Big Planet. So yeah, that's the two big things that Media Molecule did confirm that they were releasing, and that they'll now never see the light of day. And there was the third big one, which was a PC port, a PC version of Dreams. It was rumored basically every month or in every opportunity, like event or everything. That one was not confirmed at any point. Actually, Media Molecule had said that that was not a priority, and that given how their initial concept of Dreams was precisely going against the engine philosophy on PC, and they wanted you to create using, well, first the Move controllers. So at first it didn't even have controller support. Until Mark Healy went and tried everything. Anyway, and probably like more people, but you know, they literally did not want keyboard and mouse, like the traditional keyboard and mouse engine. So I guess the PC port would have not been like what people expected from it, but I think it could have worked, making it so you had to use a controller. But I guess the main drawback or the main conflictive point that made PC port not a thing or not a priority is that, well, back to the moves, it would need like compatibility with the PS camera and the Move controllers and PSVR and everything like that. And also, like, depending on your PC, some creations might run better or worse and so on. And I guess it's now also a thing with PS4, PS4 Pro, and PS5. So I guess it's also why, or like, it's hard to tell now what is the reason and what is the cause and what is like the consequence. But like, there was no dedicated PS5 version. Like, I'm playing on PS5, but it's the PS4 version. So it definitely, like, I don't know if it's because they knew they were not continuing with Dreams and then they didn't do a PS5 version, or the change in generation made it evident that they could not continue with Dreams like as it was, and like creating a dedicated version had a lot of negative points, and maybe like their new creative project deals with that and maybe has a PC port from the get-go and is compatible with PS5 and maybe when with PS6 when it comes out. I don't know, but it's sad to see Dreams end, or the support, or like the, you know, the service end in this way, because a couple of weeks ago we are just celebrating the impies without knowing that it was gonna be the last event, the final thing. We had Dreamscom 2022, without knowing that was gonna be. We had All Hallows Dreams. We had all these events, and I'm not sure when they knew, you know, because they also just re- they really just released um this information like this as a daily note, or daily message or whatever, and a post in the forum that they tweeted about without like an official, I don't know, like it wasn't a final hurrah or an event or something done like an official announcement. It was like, yeah, now we're done. It's like breaking up with you via like text message. I don't know. It's um and as I was saying, yeah, it's exciting because knowing that Media Molecule is not actually like being terminated or like not a first party studio anymore, that Sony just axed them or something, and that they are working on something else is exciting. Um but seeing dreams go like this is very sad. Even if I had less contact with dreams recently and I had abandoned it a bit, and you could also see like the yearly recaps um of your times in games. um in my case, um so I guess I'll do a shameless plug now here real quick. um BRB. Okay, so this is my dream. Jesus Christ. um we had some issues, never mind. And I still have them, like others. Jesus Christ. With OBS, I mean, like I have others, but anyway, yeah. Um yeah. So there we go, finally. This is the 2022 wrap up. My number one game is Dreams, but just 157 hours. Um in 2021 it was 228 hours. But like in 2020 it was 900. And in 2019 it was also 900 with the beta and with the early access. So like from 2019, 2020 to 2021, 2022, the drop was so significant. From 900 hours to 200 hours, and then from 200 hours to 150. Um, da, 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 you can really see my change in dreams, how I did not play or especially because like I kept playing. I guess that's actually the indicator of how much time I spent creating, because I kept playing. I did all the dream surfing streams I had before, and well, before 2020 I didn't even stream. Well, I guess I did in 2019 for the early access, right? That's when, yeah. But that was all create time, and I stopped, or not completely, but I really did not create as much at all. And I feel like that was telling for me. Like I had a shift in my dreams experience, but I think um the real teller here in general, like I'm just a user and a specific case, and like I did play way less um last year already. I guess not even last year, like 2021. I think the real indicator of Media Molecule moving on and them knowing that they were gonna terminate Dreams soon. I mean the live service and support, but you know, it's dramatic. Was when Kareem, the art director, left. Because his soul, the very painterly feel, the very expression of painterly feel, um, of Dreams, it, like, comes from him, or like his soul is poured into Dreams, and you can tell. And yeah, the art team is bigger than just the director, and there's a lot of talented people in there, and like they're all definitely put a lot of themselves in there, and they're probably all devastated too, or excited for the new project, but also like sad to let this go. But to see the director and founder leave when he was so passionate about Dreams, every time he spoke about Dreams, it was just a ray of sunshine. Like, we had conversations with Carlo about the state of Dreams and how much of a marketing failure and how underrated it was, and how sad it was to, like, that it was not being noticed, and what Media Molecule was doing and their strategies and so on. Like, we've life of dreaming. But then, you know, you heard Kareem be this passionate about Dreams and talk about it as the revolutionary tool it is, and also like the definitive, like, creative expression and platform for like easy creativity and like easy you know, to just sketch and doodle creations in 3D and all types of art and so on. And it was just so. No, that's Alex Evans, who also left, but way before. Also also a director in Media Molecule, and also a founder of Media Molecule, that hated the name Media Molecule. If I remember correctly, he wanted Brain Fluff or something like that to be the name of the company. Which he said in retrospect was terrible, but you know. It's and then Yeah, I mean, Media Molecule like that. But also, it's kind of not, because what is this Spanish? Yeah, the Spanish weapons thing. This is Media Molecule's page. You don't see it, but on the header, like on the tab name, it's Media Molecule with 2 capital M's. But yeah, everything here in Media Molecule's page is Dreams related right now, so I'm guessing, like, until they can actually talk about their new thing, that's what it's gonna be, or what it's gonna be. So yeah, if you don't know, Media Molecule is the company behind Dreams, but also Tearaway and Fold, or like Tearaway, the original for the Vita, and the first 2 Little Big Planets. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna go for jobs in a second. Don't worry. But yeah, other really important information available, specifically webnets and cats, which is pretty funny. But now the jobs, I mean, they're best place to work, whatever. But they used to have, and I don't know if I'm not seeing it or they took it down, because I've seen it before. But I thought it was gonna be here. So let's go back, because I saw it here. There we go. We're hiring. Let's meddle our creative juices and cook up some delightful food sauce. We're looking for. Yeah. So I was just, well, I guess you actually tapped out maybe. Um, but yeah, yeah, so I guess they took it out from here because here they had the exact same we're hiring on the list of jobs. Um, so I guess they took it out from the jobs page, but they forgot about this one. Um, so this is kind of sad. I mean, understandable, but um, but yeah, this is kind of funny now. Um, and yeah, obviously the blog and staff and everything is just. Also, has there been any newsletter for the? No. They discontinued the newsletter. Hmm. Oh, they haven't even updated this. So, back in 2018, when they announced the Dreams beta, um, it was open technically, but at first it was only for people that had subscribed to the newsletter before December 7th, and I think the announcement was on like December 5th or something. No, or like December 9th or something. It was after. Yep, you know, you had to be subscribed to the newsletter before the announcement. Yeah, that was the first bit of handling players, which went a bit eh. Well, I guess the second one, because the first one was announcing the beta in 2016, when it took a couple more years. But yeah, luckily I was hooked to any and all sources of Dreams information at the time, 2018. So obviously I was subscribed to the newsletter, so I got the code. I think it was on the 29th of December. So yeah, the beta did come in 2018. It was just days before the year was over. Um, but yeah, anyway. Um, I kinda want to check when Kareem, or at least when it was announced that Kareem would leave, because I feel like that's probably around the time when it was confirmed that they were not just working in two separate projects, they were basically shelving and sunsetting Dreams. Um, Also, they were like at the BAFTAs, and they released a long time ago, and there was the fourth Impy Awards and everything. It's such a weird timeline. Like, it really looked like it was um it was just, sorry, I just saw a picture of unnecessarily realistic Connie. Um it really felt weird. And I don't know how much we can blame the copyright infringement hell this has to be, because I know copyright handling was not Media Molecule, it was Sony themselves. And there was a lot of issues of like people flagging games in Dreams that were not actually infringing anything, the creations being taken down, and then Media Molecule having to intervene, like the users having to ask Media Molecule like through social medias because their complaints and like um, appeals to the takedowns were not working directly through Sony, so they had to ask Media Molecule to step in, and Media Molecule had to do it. It was weird. So I'm sure like Dreams has been copyright infringement hell for Media Molecule, for Sony, for like everyone that has had their IPs plagiarized, I guess. So I don't know like how much of that has contributed to the thing. But they were also like just recently they were nominated to the best evolving and I don't know like yeah, evolving game in the BAFTAs. I think they didn't win. I feel like I would know. But that's really sad, dude. They tweet a lot, Jesus Christ. You know, I should have probably, instead of searching for this, I should have probably checked. Oh, there was another thing. I think I skipped that then because I feel like this was before. They did a stream with the data and user research team. They had a data and user research team and they did like a stream like of an update in January. How much has everything changed in 3 months? Not just in January, January 31st. It's like literally the last day of the month. So just in a couple months and a half, I don't know. So they did a stream like with all Dreams analytics and what they had learned about users actually using the game and how to change the menus around because there had been a UI UX update. And what they had learned and how to implement like new changes to the game that will never happen. So like I hope that kind of data goes into their new project because it feels like a lot. It's not just the wasted potential of Dreams. It's the wasted work of everyone at Media Molecule in these teams. Like sure, like I'm not saying like creating and enjoying Dreams as a user or even like Dreams as a Dreams developer in Media Molecule has been a waste at all. Like everything that has been pushed to the game has been amazing, and just the experience of being able to play Dreams and to experience Dreams, that has not been a waste. And I would never say that. But it feels like they had so many things and they did so much research and development and they did so much work in like for future features and for improving this game that it never actually come out and be realized. That I doubt all those hours go nowhere, you know. So yeah, now we know that we're going to Dreams. But hopefully like they've learned something that can be applied to their new project because God. So maybe the Kareem stream was before that because I haven't seen it. I also have to play Triangle Ascension. Oh, here's the Kareem stream. Yeah, okay, so the Kareem stream was in January 17th. I don't know when the announcement was, but it was probably like a week before that. So I don't know, maybe that analysis or analytics, stream was actually once they knew Dreams was not gonna be continuing for long. But oh my god, okay. So yeah, they did make like, I don't think they did for Alex leaving, but for Kareem they did because um it was December 9th, 2022 when they announced Kareem was leaving. Um and they already announced the stream and everything. They did so if I do this, and I know there's a blue bar here, but oh, there's not. Okay, cool. Um, this was on December 9th. Oh my god, there we go. This was on December 9th. So yeah, Kareem has been essential in defining the look, the feel, and without a doubt, the very ethos of who we are. So founder, art director, just ray of light into. I guess I didn't like this tweet because I didn't like the news. But I do love Kareem. And I don't know what he has moved on to. I know he's like an actual artist, like outside of video games, that has published works and things like that. So maybe he moved on to like just regular old art. But Dreams really felt like it was personal to him. It's kind of sad. But yeah, this was a weird announcement, and I guess like when they announced the live service ending, it felt like it clicked. Like Kareem knew at that point and did not want to do anything other than Dreams, I guess. Um, Maybe he has gone into some other like studio to do art stuff, an artistic, like another way of like other creative artistic expressions or something. But I don't know. Maybe he just will do art and that's it. I think he did. He did not have a Twitter. He created one. Yeah, he's literally an art direction consultant. So I'm guessing it's he's just like freelancing now, I guess. So his Twitter is from September 2022. I wonder if that's when he knew and he made his decision of leaving Media Molecule, so he needed a Twitter to like promote his work and have like networking or connections and things like that. And then they announced him leaving on December, and then he actually left on January. Literally has 2 tweets of art pieces, and that's it, which is pretty funny. Of the day before announcing he was leaving Media Molecule, which is also pretty funny. So yeah, that's the Kareem section of the thing. There's, I don't know. There's something about like the constant feeling of everything being like handled poorly regarding Dreams that I cannot shake. And I say this wearing like a Dreams t-shirt, but I don't know. It was also pretty weird because it's like sure the old or like directors and founders of Media Molecule were leaving. I guess 2 left and then like other seniors left. But there was a lot of new hires and all the jobs listed were specifically for Dreams. Everything was like Dreams content, Dreams tools, Dreams service, Dreams multiplayer, like the servers and things like that, analytics, marketing, like from all areas. It was specifically stated that it was for Dreams in all of them. might have looked at some at some point. For me. But I don't know, it's I guess the nature of this kind of thing, like this is, I think Dreams is actually already the game by Media Molecule with the longest support. So it was only natural. The only thing is that they did talk about all these future features and all this 10-year plan and everything like that. So it really feels like not a backstab, I guess, because I like thinking about it coldly. I know, like, probably they did not want to like make all the players feel betrayed or all the players feel sad and devastated, because they probably like are the first people to feel that way. And the decision was probably from someone else. And I'm happy that, you know, they're probably excited about their new thing. Yo, Time Gamer, yeah. Like, especially probably there was like, for a while there was probably like two teams in Media Molecule, one working in Dreams and one maybe like on the early stages of the new project, and now they're shifting into like going full gear into like their new project. But yeah. And yeah, like, but that's what I was saying, like, it's been kind of a constant since I guess a bit after the VR update, because like Dreams, the official release was in Feb, Valentine's Day on 2020. Um, and in theory, we were gonna have in theory, we were gonna have like VR at launch to compensate for not having multiplayer at launch. Um, and that also got delayed, but it got delayed just some months. They released it on summer 2020, and that was like a very big update. Um, so yeah, the next thing was multiplayer. And even back then, like Mark Healy was like, okay, the next thing is VR. It's already planned. It's VR, and then the next thing is probably the next big thing is probably gonna be multiplayer. Um, and I've seen like some discussion recently that probably it's probably gonna be the next thing. It's not probably like as in it might not happen at all. It's probably as in it might get like reprioritized. Um, especially like saying after like it's probably the next thing, but take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, might not be the next thing, but it's coming. Um, especially knowing that was back in 2020. Dreams had just released. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was like Kareem leaving had, or what it felt like, a bigger um announcement. This was just like, hey, here's the blog post. We're done. And it really feels like, and I found someone else. um, but yeah, the other thing is, and I'll read everything in chat because I have ignored several comments. Final thing is that besides these updates that are now confirmed for real before the support is finished, it's terminated. Like this, or let's say like these updates will come between now and September. So they have confirmed that support and live service ends on September. So there's still like several months before that. and yeah, sure, like now Dreams is gonna take the hit, and a lot of the community is gonna move on and leave and stuff and something like that. And the community was already like shrinking and smaller, um, because there was like a lack of updates. Even though recently we've had a lot of create mode updates, we've had new tools finally after a long time. We've had the Thermo update, which now one might wonder if that Thermo increase is actually like resources they had saved and reserved for other things, um, like system things that they had to process like in the background and could not allow the creators to use, especially for multiplayer and things like that. That now you can we can use and take profit of. I don't know. But like lately we've had updates that had like um you know, at least for me, it was like, okay, no, Dreams is alive and kicking. They're working on things. It just takes time, and we're impatient, and we want the best, and so on. We're just, the user without knowing what's happening behind the curtains. And now, I guess, yeah. But also, uh, and that was the point of like there being months between now and September. Like, yeah, okay, if it ends on September, there's no All Hallows Dreams in 2023. That's fine, even though it would be pretty like fitting, um, to have the last event be the spooky graveyard one. But in any case, um, there's all of spring and summer. Well, I guess not all of summer because it depends on if it ends on September 1st. Then anyway, technicalities aside, there's basically all spring and summer to go, and usually the summer, um, yeah, the server is happening earlier, but the live support ending is after that. Um, and the summer event is Dreamscom, and they have confirmed there will not be a Dreamscom 2023. And I've seen initiatives of the community to do like a fan-made Dreamscom 2023, which might work and might be really, really cool. Um, and hopefully it happens as a community-led event. But it feels, and I know it's hours of dedication, and they would have to have like a dedicated team working on the Dreamscom halls and the booth limitations and matching, like putting everything together and all of that, and then like presenting and having like special events and something like that. But just having like a reduced version of that, like just gathering the booths um and putting them in there. Like even the imps of this year felt off, and I did say that because we had no hole or level to explore. There always have been, like there's always been something to go into and celebrate the imps, and in this year it was just a menu with the nominees, um which feels wrong. Then the imps was super fun and Shattered, yeah, great, but it still felt off already. And especially like I think like really the Alex leaving was already concerning because he was the lead of the multiplayer team, um and we knew he was working on it, and he was like the visible face of that. But I feel like the big changing point, like the turning point that really felt off was Kareem. And that's why I went into the Kareem arc. Yo, Duplex man. um so yeah, but in any case, it feels like they could have like one final community event to celebrate Dreams and its trajectory and everything, and I hope the community can pull it off without official support. But it's never going to be the same because with official support, everyone can submit their thing and be centralized into like the devs of the game. Here, even if it's like a lot of people of the community and the people that are the most involved and connected with everyone and announce everything, and like they have the most amount of likes and followers and whatever, it's not going to be an official source, and there might be like people not that are not aware of that going on and then regretting it, and then also feeling like they've missed like the final thing and so on. So it feels like at Dreamscom 2023 was got like could have been like a final celebration of the active Dreams life, where Media Molecule was actively supporting the live service, and a final celebration with the community and everything like that, like with official backing. And that's also why, like, yeah, you can have yeah, but they've said that there's not going to be any more events, so there's no Dreamscom 2023, and it really feels like a missed opportunity to like have a proper send-off of this era of Dreams, at least. And yeah, sure, like saying Dreams is dead or that Dreams is dying or that Dreams is no longer going to be there is absolutely false and exaggerating. Because, for example, there's still people playing Little Big Planet, and even Planet 1. But for Dreams, it's a really big punch, because for Little Big Planet, yeah, there were big DLC packs that had tools, but the big overhaul and improvement was between games, because Little Big Planet was very closed and very limiting, which was cool. It was like Minecraft, where limitations also like empower creativity and that you you have to do things a certain way and then work around limitations and so on. That's cool. It also works against like the empty canvas effect and so on. The Dreams like you really have in Dreams, but the big changes were between games. So if you knew, like for example, between Little Big Planet 1 and 2, like it wasn't Little Big Planet 1, it was just Little Big Planet, right? We did not know what would come after. But when Media Molecule stopped support live service for Little Big Planet 1, it immediately became like, or Little Big Planet 2 was right around the corner, and it was like what actually brought all the logic changes, all the microchips, control emulators, sackbots, everything. Little Big Planet 2. Then Little Big Planet, like they ended support for I guess Little Big Planet Vita and karting, and I don't know the exact time on those. And they did do Tearaway, right? But the Little Big Planet IP went on to Sumo Digital. And that was again like, for knowing what would happen, the exciting moment, because the new things in Little Big Planet came between games, and you saw the new power-ups in the Sack Pocket and the Organizatron and the adventures, and the maps and things like that. Like all the new features were jumping games. And then Little Big Planet was Little Big Planet 3. I mean, Little Planet 3 was Little Big Planet 3. But, with Dreams, it was different in the sense that the new features were updated and patched into the game. So it felt like all these possibilities and all these talks and new things and the excitement was for things to come into Dreams. And there were a lot of things that were talked about, and the big PS5 or PC port that was rumored, but also multiplayer and 3D exporting that were confirmed, being the three biggest things in Dreams that will never see the light of day now. And knowing that they're working on a following project, it feels like the impact is going to be noticeable, you know. But yeah, the point was, it's weird that with months still ahead, they won't have the event that they would normally have during these months as a final celebration of this era of Dreams. Um, but yeah, let me do a quick pause to read everything I missed. Watch them make Little Big Planet 4. If Sumo Digital had not made Sackboy a big adventure, I would think that maybe the Little Big Planet IP was still in the air and they might reclaim it. But I'm pretty sure Sackboy is gonna be just a 3D platformer now. And it was a good one, so like, um, and yeah, the new project, like, with it being from Media Molecule, it's definitely gonna be like a creative experience, so I'm excited for that. But it really feels like they prematurely um, abandoned this one with a lot of undelivered promises, let's say. So I guess that's the sad part, because if there was no talk about the 10-year plan, or there was no talk about multiplayer being confirmed and worked on and so on and so forth, like actually like up until even weeks ago, I would say, um I guess it would not be that heartbreaking, because it would be like, okay, I've lived through that with Little Big Planet. Um, they will do, and Little Big Planet ending meant, well, Tearaway, but then Dreams existing, um, and this is the same creative minds behind the wheel, so I'm excited for that. But it feels like they just did that, um, and like it doesn't have to be like 10 years. If like multiplayer was released like throughout 2023 and they said that's it, well, 3D exporting, that would have been like the other big thing, because it was confirmed. um with that and the updates they're actually releasing, like Tren, um the final create update and the animation update, it would be like, it's okay. um Dreams has had its life. It wasn't the 10 years, but we have like everything that was promised on launch. Um, but now I guess it's a case of ambition too big, um, and results not too successful. Because at the end of the day, this is definitely uh, an economical and like a monetary issue. I'm sure Dreams was not that profitable. Um, and someone had to come in and do something about it. With Media Molecule being a first party for PlayStation Studios. Um, and yeah, Gon doesn't have to get Dreams anymore. Um, and we were unemployed. I saw that before. That was for my Dreams hours, but um yeah, like definitely having a job has impacted the amount of time I have to do things, and especially Dreams has taken a toll. Um, but I was showing the change because for me it was like 2019 and 2020 on 900 hours a year, and 2021 and 2022 at 200 or less. So in a way, or not in a way, this change, like it has been progressive, I guess, because like at first it was 200 and 2022 it was 150. But it happened, like the big drop was between 20 and 21. And actually, partially it's also because of university, because my last year was hell. But the big pandemic hit was during 2020, and I like all the time I was at uni and had to be at home, like we had like to study remotely. I remember it like having no time at all. I could not do anything but sleep and uni work for months, except the first week where I played Death Stranding, and then like a couple of weeks where we had class but we were readapting, or like everyone was readapting. Then it was just deliverable after deliverable of work that was not planned well, so it took 3 times longer than expected, and it was just wake up, have class, work on uni, go to sleep for months. So thank you for the dreams request. So I know like in 2021 there's a part, like partially there's this reason behind like me not investing so much time into dreams, but at the same time I think like I wasn't that invested myself, and that happened before starting work, because I started last year, like not even a year for ago. Yeah, it's like 10 days still. So sure, the 2022 drop is definitely job, but it came from, it's just a 50-hour drop from a 700-hour drop. Yeah. Um so yeah, I love that they have a cat hyperlink, but the jobs listings is empty now. Um um, but yeah, a strictly multiplayer game I really enjoyed. Got moved to skeleton crew maintenance only 8 years ago. Thing is, it feels like this is not even that, because right now I'm pretty sure there's probably been 2 teams in Media Molecule, and now the dreams, like, I feels like, I mean, from now to September there's probably going to be like dedicated people for dreams, but after then there might be no one just exclusively for dreams, you know. It might be just, hey, they've reported this bug now. Like maybe they have like some people that can switch to dreams when necessary, but work on their main thing regularly. I don't know. I don't know how much maintenance that will require, because there's this server swap and so on. Sonic and what happens. And that, shit. Give me a sec. Because I'm pretty sure I have that saved somewhere. This aged well, and it's an aged well. Here, found it. Okay. Okay. So let me pause this real quick. Okay. So this is from long time ago. So this is because of Zell's message before of like give a kid a pencil and they'll draw Sonic and not original content is what happens. And just let Kareem.
I noticed, especially in the beginning, that was the majority of what you found, were people reinterpreting some of their old games. Do you think that people have gotten past that imitation level?
Well, thing is that in the sort of path of creativity, you always start at that point. Rubens, in the early days of his career, traveled to Italy and was copying Michelangelo's work. We can't progress without imitating and being inspired by what we're surrounded with. It's kind of like what we grow through as people. We first want to be someone else, and then we want to be ourselves.
That was so much more of an elegant response than I was prepared for.
So that's good. One Piece is trending. Yes, thanks. That's also Elden Ring. And a football match. Anyway, that is also, I don't know why I haven't liked this, but I had bookmarked it, which is the point. Yeah, so that's just a very brief snippet of Kareem being just him. um but it is very true, and like I know that was in response to my copyright infringement hell, but I feel like they knew, and even in Little Big Planet they had like um their DLC packs with like the different IPs and something like and things like that. So they knew like if you release, like, I don't know if there were actual Sonic costumes, but you know, that's just that first, like at least the character is gonna be licensed, so good. But that's gonna probably like generate or impulse or promote games that are Sonic like. Sonic like. So I'm sure Sony knows that whatever Media Molecule does, that they'll have to have a team for like um claims. Um and yes, Crash 4 is the best Crash game, yes. um and it was made by Tools for Bob instead of Tools Toys. uh Tools of Distraction for Bob. Um Instead of Naughty Dog. And learning from Spartan and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I would really like when this is settled down and time has passed and NDAs have ended. I would really love to know what actually happened. When did they start with something else? Who decided that? Who promoted the change? What was the reason behind it? Because I feel like if there was actually like, you know, a common agreement and decision of, okay, Dreams has had its time and we're limited by it, we have to move on to something else. The announcement and public like handling of things would be way different. Like, this sounds as a bitter message even from Media Molecule. Like, they're not even trying to sell it as a good thing or as an exciting thing for the future. They just mentioned the new project in passing because they kind of have to. Like, it's the only positive note. But it's not like someone has come out and say, okay, these are the problems and this is why we have decided that it's not viable to like solve them or do like what we want with Dream or within Dreams. So be excited for the future, and also the handling of the suns or final phase of live support. Like, instead of being like, okay, let's have a community event, let's have like a proper send-off, let's have like a progressive end to this that feels planned and feels like a natural thing to do because we're moving on to the next thing because we want to and because it felt necessary. It's just like, this ending, that's it. It really has the energy of we were told to shut down, which might be projecting, might be like actually expecting like the best, but also knowing that their current devs have not follow Sam, have not talked about this. It feels like they were contractually obligated to not mention this even after the announcement, not comment on the announcement, because the only reactions we have to the announcement are of ex-Media Molecule people. Now, I might be wrong. There might be someone that has commented on it or like done something else than just sharing the news themselves. But with the amount of people from Media Molecule I follow, having seen nothing, like without looking for it, like I must confess, but and on the other hand, having found so easily the replies, not or like the reactions, not only from fans and players, but also from ex Media Molecule devs, it feels like if there was also that kind of reaction from actual like current Media Molecule devs, I would have seen them. Yeah, it feels like a weird like political, as in inside business situation. And yeah, the common point was also like the amount of potential the Dreams had, and I mean, I think it was Alex Evans that said that it was a tool that had no right existing and being as good as it was, and it's sad to see the amount of unrealized exciting features that were coming. But yeah. Okay, so there's one big thing. And yeah, with Spore and with Little Big Planet too, like there's still people in there, and like we commented, like I just played the Ratchet and Clank multiplayer games. Those have online servers, and like there's almost no people playing online in those games because they're from 2011 and 2012. But the servers are up, and there are PS3 and they are PS3 servers. So the multiplayer is free. It's what was not recovered after the DDoS attack at the Media Molecule, not the Media Molecule, the Little Big Planet servers. Only the PS4 Little Big Planet 3 servers came back. So yeah, Little Big Planet 1 and 2 are completely axed, and Little Big Planet 3 on PS3 is not a thing anymore. So, I mean, the multiplayer in it. And obviously, like, everything comes to die. It's the handling of it all, and it feels like Dreams was such a constant of this sort of thing, where promises and deliveries were not handled well, marketing was not done well, it got misunderstood, underappreciated, looked over, handled poorly, not marketed. I think I already said it, but like I should say it like 3 more times. Yeah. But besides that, the very big thing that I think I haven't mentioned, because it's not like, I feel like it's not the most important or limiting thing now, but it's such a big change going forward. Especially like, this will only be a problem in the long term. And it is that now, currently, we don't have limits for online saves. So we have a 1 gig limit for local saves, so we can only take 1 gigabyte of space in the disk, so local saves, when we save locally to console. But as soon as we publish, either publicly or privately, so as soon as we upload the creations onto the servers, that's limitless. And yes, that's unsustainable, especially if you're moving on and you're not expanding the capacity. But it's also a sudden change and a big hard limit to now suddenly say, you not only have a maximum of 5 gigs for online saves, but also a maximum of 256 creations. And with how light Dreams creations are, I really think the more restrictive limit is the 256. I feel like it's way easier to go over 256 creations because it includes elements, scenes, collections, and dreams, than it is to go over 5 gigs. Because at one point I had everything I had created ever locally, because I had always a local copy and server copy, and then I had after a while I downloaded everything again or saved again locally, because I was gonna be a month at the beach with the PS4, but without at least good internet connection, so I just created offline, and that was less than a gig. So I'm not too concerned about that one, but 256 creations I kinda am, because, and sure, that doesn't include the creations you've already done, so it's 256 plus everything from these years. But if I go to my profile, I have created 425 things. And I'm not the most prolific creator. I have barely done anything in a couple of years on the create side of things. So if just with that I have already 425, that's almost double the limit, you know. So it's really like, I guess it's really psychological because it's not like until you reach the limit you can keep creating, but it also feels like you now you have this hard limit and you don't know if you're gonna hit it before like finishing a project or like reaching a point you're comfortable or like that you like or something like that, or if you might like go over it. And as I was saying, like 256 starting now, well, starting in May, is a lot of creations. But if you're active in Dreams and you keep creating as you have until now, especially for like the most, because like the people that will probably stay in Dreams are the ones that have like thousands of creations already. That 256 might be hit in no time. So it's interesting because I'm pretty sure, and I'll fact check myself real quick right now. If you go here, okay. So as you can see, well, it says PS4, not, but locally it's 1 gig, always has been, and locally it's also 256, and I have less than that because I've deleted a lot of things and they're only online. I was looking at my profile in dreams.me and it says 425, so the difference is only in the servers. So it's kind of weird that they put this 256 hard limit for server creations when the memory limit is 5 times the local one. So why not make it like, okay, I guess 5 times is weird, but why not make it 4 times? Why not make it 2048? Something like that, you know, that it feels like super, like a very big amount, and that it represents more or less that the same kind of proportion, you know. Especially because up until now, and this 256 is funny, because here, okay, I have to have something, I guess. There we go. I guess not. Hold up. Pussy. Okay. Here. The unique stamped elements is also like the maximum is also 256. And I thought they upped this on the recent Thermo update. I guess it just was the bare number of things and not this, because this is like things that you have saved somewhere else and you're importing. So that's some line art if you want to.
I sympathize with your simple mission.
To come on board and ride, but listen. At some point we'll reach rock bottom. I need to ask for that little token. That golden ticket to get on board. What's up with you with your long face? It seems to me you're most displeased. Don't be unkind. It's not a place to clap your hands and slap your knees. To get on board, I'll cure you of your sad disease. Stop being grumpy, oh my lord, and give me all your tickets. If that didn't come on the perfect moment.
There's just one thing I'm looking for. T-I-C-K-E-N-T.
Where have you been? You look a mess. I'm sorry, it is mean to tease. I must regret about the knee.
What happened to you, music man? Your hat's all broken.
You smell of cheese.
Try me happy if you can, and give me all your tickets.
Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Just one thing I'm looking for.
T-I-C-K-E-N-T. Tickets, please.
Oh god. Oh. My controller was in my lap, and it was holding the trigger with my leg, I guess, and the gyro. Imagine you're on a beach, the waves gently lapping at your toes. In the distance you can see a little bird. It doesn't have a care for the world. Imagine you're that bird. Be that bird. Chill out. You need to relax. Now imagine you're in a forest. A green forest. A nice forest. A squirrel gives you a sandwich. Feel the moss beneath your feet. A hedgehog smiles at you. The animals are all around. Be like those animals. Be one with nature. Or just be. You need to relax. Is the third one gonna... Yep. Password. I really like. Forgot the password. Get your heart. You're not on the list, so you can't come in. Big imp. And your lyrics are lying. Oh, you definitely have. Please go away. Anyway, yes, that's it. Okay. All right. So yeah. Hard limits are a bit disheartening, especially because it means that in the long run, like, you're always working towards a hard stop. And yeah, I guess you can, there's two ways around it. There's the, well, like deleting the online copy and copying the offline one to a like flash drive or something, and then have like either just rotate the games you have published and always have like a limited amount of things you have published, or like publish them first on your main account and then take them out and then copy them to your secondary account and then publish them there. I don't know, that might work. So there's probably like ways around the hard limit. But you know, it's this knowing it's there and having to like consider the extra amount of work and all that. So yeah, I guess that's also why I didn't mention it like first thing, because I don't feel like that's the worst part of it. But it's definitely like impactful for the long term of Dreams. But as you know, as I jumped from Little Big Planet to Dreams, and I know a lot of people stayed on Little Big Planet 2 and 3. And I say 2 and 3 because 3 is Little Big Planet 3, and yeah. So here's the thing: it could be the same thing, right? I did jump from Little Big Planet to Dreams, and I'm pretty sure if Media Molecule continues their trend, I will. Like if it's like continuing and the spiritual successor of Dreams, I'm sure I will jump into that, and maybe at that point is either around the time or well before the hard limits are being hit. So that's fine. But at the same time, it could be a Little Big Planet 3 situation in which, yeah, the new thing is new and exciting and has like new properties, but it's a fucking mess. And you really want to stay on the old one. And with Little Big Planet, it really didn't matter that much because the biggest updates were maybe 1 or 2 additional tools in a DLC pack, and that's it. For Dreams, like sure, we haven't had a lot of creative mode updates with new tools and new things like that. But everything was coming to Dreams itself. So all the updates and everything was planned for Dreams, and we knew, and we have had some at least create mode updates, so we knew it was possible and that they were, being patched in and something and things like that. So it really is different. It goes back to the point I've already made, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. But I'm excited, and I trust, if anything, Media Molecule more than Sumo Digital for their own IPs and experiences and following the play, create, share ethos and motto and everything. But at the same time, there's no guarantee the new project is gonna be like better in all regards to Dreams. And it could be a Little Big Planet 3 situation in which people really want to even and it's not going to be a direct sequel because they have confirmed it's not a direct sequel. But it might be, in the same vein, but people might want to stay in Dreams for actually, like, not because of nostalgia, not because they're already used to it, but because the new alternative is not the same or is, in some regards, worse. So it happened from Little Big Planet 2 to Little Big Planet 3, because it was a mess and it was unplayable for a while, especially in multiplayer. So people that wanted to play online stayed in Little Big Planet 2, and people that were used to the tools and to consistently, good experience, stayed in 2. Then now the PS3 servers are dead, so I guess if like people that only liked Little Big Planet because of the multiplayer, they have to play Little Big Planet 3 now on PS4 or 5, I guess. That's the only good thing, it's backwards compatible. If you try to import your profile from PS4 to PS5, I might have a video on that. And how funny it is. But I think that Little Big Planet 3 online multiplayer is still not like optimized at all. It works better than before because before it was like non-existent basically. But I think it's virtually impossible to actually play online. So we lost, I guess, like some people wanted to stay in Little Big Planet 2, then some people wanted to stay in Little Big Planet 3, and now some people will want to stay in Dreams, depending on what, the next one is. So this combination of creativity and like the very soul of Dreams really feels like it has been wasted. And you can also just you really, for these kinds of games where you know there's a lot of time invested into creating and things like that, you really have to choose one to dedicate your time to, and you can't really say I'll stay in Dreams, and even when Media Molecule releases the next thing, I'll keep creating in Dreams and the new one, because like there's not that, like, if just for one of them I don't have time. It's impossible for like a human being to like dedicate their time to two creative platforms like these. So yeah, you know, it's just sad. And I'm sure, like, again, there's people that they are still publishing level, because online multiplayer is a thing that doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure you cannot publish levels on Little Big Planet 2 anymore either. So I guess not the best example because the servers were taken down, but there are still people playing, even if multiplayer is whack, on Little Big Planet 3 and publishing levels. And the Little Big Planet, actually, that's another different thing. There's a dedicated Little Big Planet account. It's neither Media Molecule nor Sumo Digital, even though it's like it changed hands, but the account is Little Big Planet and it promotes levels and things like that. And even for Little Big Planet, there's Restitched, which is not even Little Big Planet, it's like something else to avoid copyright infringement, but it's basically the same thing. And they're trying to do it like Little Big Planet PC, basically from scratch. So even for that, like, there's like fan-made games inspired in LBP. But yeah, there's people playing Little Big Planet 3 still. There's people even playing the older ones, even though they don't have servers anymore. There's people playing freaking the Ratchet and Clank multiplayer games on PS3 from more than a decade ago. So I'm sure there's gonna be people just staying in Dreams for their lives, because Dreams has meant so much for so many people. And again, I don't think it's fair to say it's dying or it's dead now or no one or everyone will leave, but a lot of people will leave and a lot of things are not gonna be the same. And the handling of it all, I think, is what hurts the most. Emotionally and like metaphorically, like, and the game and the situation. And yeah, there's also the knowing that, but I guess it's the same with Little Big Planet too, like, not number 2, but like also everything we did there, there was no way of taking it out of Little Big Planet. Like, yeah, you can copy your games, and I have several levels, like a backup of them on like a USB drive on my computer and things like that, but so they're safe, but you cannot access them without a PS3, well, or a PS4 or PS5. Thanks, like, all in all, thanks to Little Big Planet 3, you can at least have that preservation. But the only way to actually interpret those levels is through a PlayStation console with a Little Big Planet game. And I guess there might be a point where those games can be reasonably and actually emulated, or someone might do like some kind of way to actually interpret the data from like that you've saved, you can copy from your PS3 and so on. But there's no direct preservation of your work in these platforms. But we knew that from day one. That's not news. That's not like something that feels like a punch to the gut. It's just something to always consider. And one of the, I think, few reasonable and valid points that people just saying you should learn how to use a real engine have. I think that you have to gauge how much that matters to you. And I think that the promise was that Dreams was not going to be this hermetically closed. So there was this promise of it being better in the future for Dreams specifically. But even then, we knew the, exporting and conversion possibilities were not the same as in traditional engines. But Dreams is a real engine though, like, I'm not agreeing with those people. And yeah, the limits do kick in soon, which is sad. I've seen people create a lot of empty scenes and Dreams to try and work around the limits. I don't know how that will work. Maybe as soon as you edit something, it counts because you're saving a version. So if that's the case, then that's completely useless. But we'll see about that. We'll see how it works. Dreams has definitely been weird with limits and rules, so we'll see. And yeah, I guess one good thing is that we're not gonna have to witness the evolution of unnecessarily realistic copy anymore. Another positive, I guess, is that we'll finally be able to delete creations. So up until now, and I guess some might be confused because I literally just clicked this, but this is delete local saves. And as I was saying, these 88 are the ones that have only local versions. So this one, for example, it seems like does not have a local version, so it's not here. So it's these little icons here. So if it's local and something else, it has both. So a lot of them are just local. And those are the only ones that you can delete right now. So the way they have, or they will put in to work around this 5 gig limit, because right now, as soon as you publish anything online, it's there forever. You cannot delete anything online, not even private shit that you have online. If it's online, it's there. Which feels like a flaw since the start, but it's how it's been. Like local things you can delete. As soon as you save them privately online in the cloud, you cannot delete, and you cannot delete, like even if you repurpose them, you can always access a previous version of things, because history and hierarchy in Dreams is like very strict and faulty, but yeah. And then the only thing you can do is archive things. So like, I have some things archived. So yeah, as soon as you publish or save in the cloud, you cannot delete. When the 5 gig limit kicks in, we will be able to delete online saves, which is nice, but what a price to pay for this feature, is it? So yeah, and you can see here, like, I don't know, this is a full ass level. Like this is 90 something percent gameplay. Like maybe 60 art or something, graphics, and it's 10 megs. But then there's like shared. This is another full level. It's not that full. It's just 1 meg. Oh wow. This is literally, wow, 59. This is, that's funny. That is, look at all these things I have just online. That is literally just one gadget in a scene. No, I'm not even kidding. It's this. And I'm covering it. But it's this. It's a gadget that they used in Ancient Dangers to create QR codes that they promised we would have access to, and I'm pretty sure we don't, and we won't. Yeah. So yeah, literally this. This is everything that's on the scene. And that's 50 megs. It's pretty funny. But yeah, like, you see it's like point thing. It's 8 megs for a full ass level. This is also big. Whoa. That has dependencies. Not even half a meg. 8. Like, I'm going for the big ones, you know. I'm pretty sure this one is, because it's not mine. This is a remix. 2 megs. Yeah, it's, yeah. Like, for the most part, I feel like the size is fine. But the 256 might be the most restrictive one. But yeah. And support September. Multiplayer not here. Yeah, that's a thing. Until September. Yeah. Like, yeah, there's another positive, I guess, which is that we're not gonna have the pressure of having impies or like competing for like Media Molecule to notice us and things like that. But I feel like that's so minor. Like, run events will make the games popular, like trips, so this YouTuber just played memes, that's all. No, but that's the thing, it's not just the YouTubers playing memes, it's also like the game journos ignoring dreams completely and not knowing, or just not, and so many people just being like, oh, I don't understand dreams, or I don't know what it is about, or why should I try it, or I'm not gonna create, so it's not for me, or oh, has it come out yet? You know, I don't know. And yeah, I'm sure like Dreams is not gonna completely die, and like the community is not gonna disappear completely, and the hardcore Dreams fans are gonna create for years probably to come. But once again, it's just the forms, the end, promises. Yeah. I know, like, 4 is an even better example. Like, I'm just more acquainted with Little Big Planet, but ooh, Crash to Insanity remake. Let's fucking go. But yeah. They turn it off and there goes our content. We can zero control of that. There's, yeah, the worrying bit is that, I mean, yeah, I guess now we should be more careful on like the critical bits, keep them offline. But like they're literally migrating servers to ensure that everything, like there's a long-term support without having to have like an active team looking after Dreams. So this comes with like services in general. There's, and even like platforms, something like that. If YouTube fails, if Twitch fails, if or shuts down, I guess, entirely. And they're like very successful companies and sites and things like that, but there's no guarantee. We're really like at the hands of third parties that have their rights reserved. So I think the real, like, actual tangible positive for Dreams in this case is that anything you have created on Dreams, it's been you creating it, and Media Molecule has confirmed that those intellectual properties are yours. So as long as you have them offline and you can go and check out how and what you did, you can replicate them and you can make them profitable off some other engine or something like that without infringing copyright, because that is not the property of Media Molecule or of Sony. But still, like, I guess it's like the crux of art these days, in which it's at the service of the platforms and the third-party companies that hold them. And that's a big reason to like own your art, and not like as a creator but also as a user, you know, like own your music, you own your movies, like have them physically, have them locally, because and own your games. Like I didn't want to like start with what we were basically talking about, but not just the games in Dreams, but like your actual games. The digital versions, you don't actually own them. They're way easier to be lost, I guess. And you're way more at the mercy of what some big corporation decides as soon as something stops being profitable. Doesn't mean that's what happened with Dreams, but like you got the feeling. And yeah, exactly, Zal. You don't really own them for good, which is. Keeping Dreams there as a support tool and then later on bringing it back to life. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that they've said that their new project is not a Dream sequel. But yeah, I guess that's also liberating. They can do whatever they want without the painterly feel and whatever. So that, once again, Kareem left. But yeah. But I've been a very... and more scalable council for 10 years. Yeah. Thing is, and I talked about this with you specifically, Zal, but they did announce not Dreams, but their new big project at the PS4 presentation conference. It was like this big thing where Alex Evans was like, the new revolutionary device, the PS4, that's gonna come out eventually. And the new creating Suite was just with the moves, and that's the other thing. Like, Dreams started as a creative tool only with the moves. There was no like dual shock for the which is basically for sculpting, for 3D art and things like that. And then it evolved into what Dreams is now. So if Media Molecule like doubles down into that idea, we might have maybe just a VR only game or a moves only game, or like whatever the new special controller is. And that's exciting because one of my coolest Dreams experiences was creating in VR. And I borrowed a headset, but at the same time it's very exclusive. Another rumor, like, the PC port was just wishful thinking probably, but like a PS5 version and a PSVR 2, not version, like support for it, was, I guess, you know, a reasonable thing to think about. But yeah, like, a new project is exciting, but it's also reasonably scary in that it won't be exactly. And I guess Dreams is not exactly what everyone wanted from like an engine or from a creative tool for, you know. But it really feels revolutionary, and it really feels like a lot of like a big wasted opportunity and a lot of wasted potential. But yeah. Me drawing Lane community. Yeah, the community art event sure was a thing that lasted for like what, 3 months? No, like, completely understandable. Anyways, I finally got to the Dreams request. So I guess we'll have a brief parenthesis if that's short. Oh yeah, what I just did, I just opened it in Dreams, and
Attention all passengers, we will arrive in 5 minutes. Hey sir, wake up. You don't want to miss it. Get up.
the beginning of summer, I was feeling broken inside like many others, but it's too much. Anything for Mark's greatest? Yeah. Let me. Yeah, the name is I will release my dream KaiserPunk in summer. So what I just did was open the creation in dreams.me and clicking play now. That's also disappearing. The direct connection features like play now, send to imp, the Twitch integration, and I don't know what else. Oh yeah, the keyboard input, I think it was like. There's several things of in dreams.me that are also going away. And I feel like it's the ones that need like active support and that can give like issues. Might need like dedicated resources that they can just use somewhere else. And the Twitch integration, I don't know if I said that, but not. I think we can go through the actual post later, but I'm pretty sure it's not just the Dreams buddy, which has not worked for like since Kimao left Media Molecule. I'm pretty sure. But also the Twitch like connection. Like right now I'm on my profile and I see like Aladdis5 on Twitch and watch for 4 months streaming Dreams on Twitch and streaming now. And then every creation has the stream to buy and things like that. So I think all of that is actually going away. But I'm not certain about that, so we'll check it. Definitely. Increase with artwork for 9 sets. Like even like in regular animated digits on cars because people. Honestly, and I pause the music. Hold up. Even in like big AAA story games now, photo mode, and I'm also gone. Hi, hello. Photo mode is like a staple now, or at least in Sony first-party studio games. So even in those that are just like closed games to like, they're not like creative experience or like art intensive experiences, like for the user, like their art on themselves, but you know they're not like a creative suite like Dreams or like these kinds of games. With just photo mode, people are doing crazy things and like being very creative with them. So I guess it's also striking a balance of like being, so having like a game, because Dreams released with Art Stream, but that was very short and very like also closed. And now there's like Ancient Dangers, and well, we were gonna play Once Upon a Climb, no, a long time ago. I was today I don't feel like so yeah, the Media Molecule has released their own things and their own games, but there was no like Little Planet had the play, like the play, create, share. The play bit was not just community things, it was like a big story by Media Molecule 2. So that was the entry point for everyone, and it was like substantial. It wasn't long, but it was involved and substantial. And I know Little Planet was way more close and like not as, you know, the creative tools were not as versatile, or you didn't have that much freedom to create. But yeah, Dreams with Artstream, like it was Artstream sick, but it doesn't feel like, and Media Molecule themselves said it's not like story mode or like the main game. It's just like one more dream. Just made by us. Yes, like that. So yeah, I guess it's a balance between like having a playable game, so everyone has like this, like can want to play, just to play the game, like it's just another game to play, and then have like the creative tools after, not after, but because like the main focus will be the creative tools, but like actually like, you know, and make, I guess, the game also like foment, or like make the creating, like the create suite enticing, or like make it so just players also want to try the tools out, or maybe ease the entrance in a bit. So like people that are not used to photo mode, they just have it there, and they may start just creating, like just pausing the game in certain frames and framing like the characters and the landscapes and things like that, and then like after that they might start doing like composition, filters and all that, and then they really get creative with their pictures. Here it'd be like, okay, start with like some brief things. And I think Little Big Planet 3 did a very cool thing, which was the Puppet Academy, which was basically, and that was a very cool power up of letting you have create tools in play mode. And they actually allowed you to add that into your levels, so you could actually have like levels where you could have like editing bits. But yeah, the Puppet Academy, it was like levels you played, but in some sections, like every level taught you something. And I guess the tutorials in Dreams are kinda like that. But and the tutorials in Dreams are very basic. So yeah, they teach you the tools, but it's just like, if I want to do tutorials now, it's just a lot of exposition. And yeah, it's like it has its fair share of like learning by doing, and like it's all playing like a mini player, and you have your scene and things like that. But it's very old Little Big Planet tutorials. It's not the Puppet Academy. I think the Puppet Academy was like the extra step. And fun fact, I wanted to, so the Puppet Academy had 2 terms. I wanted to do like a 3rd term, because the Puppet Academy is also very basic. I wanted to do like a 3rd term for the Puppet Academy and have like advanced features and like teach several tools of the game in Little Big Planet 3. I never did that. But yeah. So yeah, I feel like creativity really like exists in all players. It's just having like that sweet spot where everyone wants to buy your game, and then like you have the dedicated creators and the dedicated players, and that's fine. But Dreams really felt like, and I really feel like it's failed to market itself since before release. Like these comments of, I'm not creative, or I'm not gonna create, so I will pass. And also, I guess the painterly feel is cool because you can detect things being from Dreams, and now they've reduced that because you can remove luminoise, and you have other options. But it's also like, if you do something in Dreams, it will always have this feel, so some people might not like it. I mean, you can work around it, like, well, can't really see Flecks in the background image now, but, you know, well, except the imp, obviously. But yeah. The longer game is to... I already experienced how much verbal NDAs can go around, and when no one is saying anything about it for a longer amount of time. Yeah, exactly. It's just like Media Molecule has been, or like the devs at Media Molecule have been very vocal about basically everything except this. And yeah, to be honest, like, I also feel like I've done a lot of Dreams promotion in general. Like, I'm not saying like my streams are viewed by a lot of people or anything, but with you guys that have been here for a long time, and for Rack and Dreams and anything, it's cool So it's been really nice to see how, like, for example, Runner, Edge, Chike, Not Gone, have bought Dreams because of what they've seen. And I feel like this should be like the job of a marketing team at Media Molecule or Sony. And I feel like the community has done more to share what Dreams is like really is, and what it is about, and what you can do, and the possibilities, and make people actually consider buying Dreams, than any marketing campaign or anything. And there was also a program to it was the something, I don't know, like a property, or like it was something beta evaluation program. So it was basically, if you wanted to use something made in Dreams for commercial use outside of Dreams, like formally you had to apply for that program and like have, I don't know exactly what, like some kind of validation or like NDAs or contracts or something. But I guess that's also ending, so I guess it's a free for all now. And I guess like at the end of the day, the professional final product is was probably not made in Dreams, but Dreams is also a great tool for sketching, and just in no time have like something rough, to have an idea of what you want and things like that. But it's sad that it seems to like if it's just left as this kind of tool, like if this is the main use case of Dreams going forward, just a bridge, and I was gonna say sketchbook, and that's literally what Alex Evans said before release to define Dreams, like a game engine with a game and a sketchbook. But I always felt like the first one was more fitting, and it was more, you know. But yeah. And now I'm gonna play more. We visit this summer. I visit this. Oh, okay. Sorry, that always gonna make me excited immediately. And we finished Dynamic Factory once and for all. Dude, actually, like, one of the first things I thought... Well, I guess the thought process was... A Dynamic Factory is not fucking finished. And then... Dude, I should finish Dynamic Factory before support ends. And at least have, like, 2 finished games in Dreams. Imagine you're a dead bird. Imagine you are that bird. Be that bird. This is like the kind of music I'm looking for a thing. Hombre, Rachi, hazme más puzzles de clan, bueno. XD. Bueno, se ha ido ya. Bonanit. You just resubscribe to live every 30 seconds when you breathe. Good luck now not being conscious about breathing now. Yeah, I guess it was based on a gimmicky current era piece of hardware. Yeah. And like the move controllers I haven't used, but I guess it's because I just realized the camera has disappeared from here. Oh dude, someone has made it disappear for sure, and that someone wasn't me. It might be hold up. So yeah, no, what I was saying about the camera, but not this one, but like the okay, so the move controllers work with the PS camera. Um Um, and I thought I had it here. But I guess I unplugged it from because when I changed to PS5, I like you have to because those worked with like the PS VR setup and things like that. So like there was a dedicated socket that was a weird connector, so you had to ask for like a converter, and I never did because like it was super simple if you had PSVR because with the code they sent it to you, but I didn't have PSVR. I just had the camera that moved. So you had to contact technical support of your country, and I was like, ugh. Point being, yeah, I haven't used the moves since moving to PS5, and they are really like a niche, dated controller for a console. So hopefully with like PSVR 2, and especially like PC compatible like universal 3D controllers, that might work better because like I love Dreams with the gyro support and like being able to create and move with the gyros because that's way faster than with sticks. And with the camera, with the light of the controller, you actually had like 3D movement like this. So in PSVR, even with the DualShock, well, this is DualSense, but you could sculpt in 3D and you could move around and you could like have like this 3D sculpting and 3D painting and 3D environment in actual 3D. So it was just imitating, it was literally basically a digital twin imitating exactly what you were doing with gestures in real life with like, yeah, in real life, like what you were doing in real life into the digital world and your scene. So hopefully there's a universal way of doing this going forward and they can keep this in their new game engine with a game. But yeah. And also I think I started saying that Alex Evans had its presentation for the start of the PS4. So yeah, that was 2013, I'm pretty sure. Then they said beta coming in 2016. Then it got delayed until 2018. Then it actually came out on like December 29th, 2018, I'm pretty sure. December 20 something at least. So it almost didn't come out in 2018 again. Then we had early access on 2019, and then it actually came out released officially in 2020. So, in terms of generations, in terms of me, that was from before starting university to having to almost being done with my master's degree. So my 7 years of uni were 2014 to 2021, and Dreams between like being announced or like known that Media Molecule was working on something new and exciting to release was 2013 to 2020. So, but in terms of generation, God, I had forgotten my point. In terms of generations, it goes from announcing their new project in the conference saying, hey, this is the new generation of consoles, the PS4, to the PS5 not being released yet, but releasing that same year, right? Yes, because Rift Apart came out in 2021, that was release window. It came out November before, so that was November 2020. And Dreams released in February 2020. So, Dreams released for almost already the old generation without a native version for the new one coming out the same year. It was... And obviously, like, Sony was not gonna market an old generation game that much. So everything coming out in 2020 had like this handicap, and Dreams especially needing that much. Like, and we already had an early access the previous year, but you know, also having the creator early access, it was perfect for like people that wanted to create, and I loved it. But I guess it also reinforced the idea of, oh, this game is for creators. It's not for me. And people did not keep an eye out for when the actual get like the full game released. Because if someone had like interest in Dreams after but not, which is weird, like having interest in Dreams but not in the creative side of things before release. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I guess Project Genesis was like the one of the big One Piece, yeah, Dreams YouTubers that did nothing in create mode. So, yeah. Game with an asset creator, Alan. Oh, a game with an asset creator, Alan, or is it an asset creator engine with a preset template campaign? Yeah, but even then, like, you can have like build an engine with a preset template campaign and have the campaign be completely remixable and editable and things like that. So like you can see how the professionals that have worked with the engine have done it. Because also that's the thing, Dreams was the first one where all the games made by Media Molecule were done entirely in Dreams. So they could have just released them as public and remixable. They didn't, especially for Art's Dream. They said there was a lot of messy things from old versions imported between like Dreams builds and things like that. That could cause problems. So if they release something as remixable, if they know users of any experience or knowledge or like skill level, call it what you will, can have access and look into that, they have strict guidelines of this has to have like everything documented, everything like following some like color codes or like naming schemes and things like that, so people can actually follow everything, look into it, use it, have it documented, learn from it, etc., etc. So I get why they didn't release Heart's Dream as remixable. I feel like it would be a really cool final like send-off, saying, hey, not everything we've done, but here's Heart's Dream for you to dissect if you feel like it, because it's horrible than anyone could do. And I think people already made it to some Art's Dreams scenes in creative. That was a thing early on. And it was funny. But yeah. Even then, I feel like Dreams was not even like an asset creator engine with a preset template campaign, because Art's Dream was not like big enough or like the focus of the play side. So in Little Planet you had play story, play on like community, and then create. And here it's, so the play really had the two things. Here it's just play, community levels, and it just so happens in one of the community profiles is the game devs or the engine devs, let's say, you know. And the painterly feel was a byproduct of this class. Yeah, so I feel like it's what was less memory intensive for the type of rendering and not having polygons. But you've seen in the scene before where I put everything, I painted everything white. You could still see the flecks, and yeah, so like the main unit is the fleck. A weird flex, but okay. But you can hide that in a way, like you can have all flecks be of the same color and at the same like surface level. And you can choose how much it costs. So definitely like not having polygons causes that, but then that was actually put in like turned to 11 by, or to create this painterly feel. So I think they took like what could have been a -point and made it the essence or like the DNA or like the look and feel of the game. And still like that's still a thing. But like this is the default kind of flex. And this is the only option Dreams had for the longest time. And then they allowed you to deactivate Luminoise. So this, like as you can see, there's flecks of not completely different colors, but varying shades of the same general color. Even if you like paint it of one color, there's different, like there's multiple shades of gray. Even in black, there's like some grayish tones, and there's some, like as you can see here when you change especially saturation, and there were some orange and yellow, and also depending on the texture, like if it was shiny you can see the rough bits, especially if it was metally like that, you can see like the grain of it. And you could always, like there's the adjust detail tool. This has always been a thing, and you can make it less detailed or more detailed, and if it's less detailed it costs less memory, but as you can see the flecks are way bigger. So yeah, definitely that's like a byproduct of how everything's rendered, and less memory means more painterly feel. But you could always like make it more, and this is literally how it's called. This is making it more tight. At Chike. Because, and this is here also a slider of looseness. Here. So I don't know if I'll get the tooltip. Yeah. Adjust the amount of looseness. This roughens up your flex, giving you a more textured, less uniform look, and I lost it. Has a big effect on some properties, so experiment with it. In fact, some won't even work without it. So, and more loose means this. As you can see, like the edges, when the flecks become too big, this happens. But if they're tight, that's it. And that's literally it. It's loose or tight. and neatness was not even a thing. So as you can see now, like they're all disorganized, and now when you can actually align them and have like nice patterns like that. But still, as you can see, and now you can see it very clearly, all the flecks have like different shades and colors. If you deactivate it, now all flecks have the same color, and if you remove this, that's even more uniform. And there we go. This does not mean, like, for example, here at the edge, there we go, that you can see there it is. That fleck there, these ones here on the edges, are diagonal, so that's where this comes in. You can make it more and more tight, and the detail is increased, which doesn't really matter at this like scale, I guess. But that relates directly with the actual Thermo here. So the graphics Thermo is how much this takes. So making it more loose. So there's two looseness. There's the static, let's say, that the actual property of the object. This makes it more loose, and this actually reduces graphics memory. So look, we went from 14% to 2%, with almost no noticeable change except at this level. And then there's this looseness here, which is dynamic, and you can actually change it in runtime. So you can have things like this, and you can actually change to play mode, and that happens during play mode. So that, in fact, is storing this version of the object, and then dynamically changing how it looks instead of, you know. But the object is always stored as the version that takes the most. So this one actually affects the Thermo because this is what you're actually saving. The other one is just what you can do starting from there. And you can always make it more loose visually. It also relates to how objects are actually rendered in create mode versus play mode. Because I'm pretty sure in play they're empty hulls. So it's just the surface area that gets rendered. But yeah, in any case, like, the technology behind Dreams is also revolutionary, I feel, and how they save data. So Dreams had no loading screens practically, even in PS4. Like if you have two consecutive scenes with the same or a lot of shared assets, they were already loaded. So the transition was even more instant, and that was handled by the engine. You did not have to do anything as like the creator, just have it in mind. So if you share things between scenes, I know that it will go faster. And then they also talked about how for some or I think it was for all creations, what they stored was the edits. So you can always go back and undo. So there's not a limited undo list that you can exhaust. You can always undo, except for hard limits like selecting all the level and deleting it all. Then you get prompted with, this is a big operation that cannot be saved in memory. If you do this, the chain will be broken and you will not be able to undo. So I think the thing was they always store like the edits. So sometimes, and you can see that, I don't know if we'll see it on PS5, but I wonder. Like usually, like big creations like this. Look at that. You can see when when they load, you can see the. There we go. That's the edit order in which they were created. So when things load in, you don't load in like the final version of the thing. You load in all the edits. That was quick. Required to reach that point. And apparently that makes, and it does make, so if that's what they do, it makes for like super light creations. But yeah, I don't know why I got into these details, but oh yeah, the polygons and the tightness and so on, and painterly feel. But yeah. So yeah, the okay, yeah, the hence the fuzziness slider, yes, looseness. They can either draw a polygon base. Yeah, it's LDF and yeah, anti-polygon agenda. Yeah, exactly. They literally went all in with against the tyranny of the polygon. And oh god. Okay, luckily, yeah, anti-tyranny of the polygon. It's not the fuzziness slider; it's the looseness slider. It's literally more loose, less thermo consumption, more tight. Once again, more thermo. Quantum puzzles, anyone? Yeah, well, actually, it's pretty funny because I've seen people do, in my opinion, like as humbly as you can say what I'm about to say, I think I've seen worse versions of clank clone puzzles or like the same kind of mechanic get picked while clank clone puzzles wasn't. And I know there's some puzzles that I don't like in clank clone puzzles, and there's a couple of repetitive bits, but it reached the first page of most liked dreams on the beta, so they had to notice it. So if it's not picked, it's because it's Clank in there. But at the same time, it's cool because like some people that liked Ratchet and Clank saw it. So yeah, and I was like, that's the first thing. Like, what can I create? With this new like sculpting tools that is kind of geometrical, but I have some kind of reference, so it's not completely free. And I was like, wait, Clank. And once I had Clank, I was like, I remembered Remy's, well, Veil for XT at the time, but Remy's comment on wanting like a full game dedicated to clone puzzles. Well, not clone, but like the time puzzles of ACID. And I was like, actually, I kind of agree with that. I would love to see like a puzzle game like that. But then I did not know how to do like the time recording thing. So, and the camera froze again. So, so I was like, okay, let's just do clones. Okay, camera froze. Flashed emoji. Came out and I was considering the cheapest ways to VR and 2 control. Yes. Always wanted to try Beat Saber too. And get us move controls for Beat. Full set, so I don't have VR. So here's what VR said, yeah. Wanna no idea what the path. Oh yeah. Is it sandbox and not like software, like the actual SDK? Also, it's pretty funny because at work, one of the clients, they've changed name now, and understandably so, but they were called SDK. And I was like, wait, what? Software development? No, no, no. It was a carbon company. And I was like, ah. CO, hell, like dreams. Own engine and how to create new levels, multiplayer modes. That's super sick, dude. No, see. Let's get me just yada yada and game day. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was an intentionally artistic and painterly. So they made like one of the downsides, I guess, of choosing this kind of rendering into the soul, I guess, of dreams. I'm pretty sure it's all voxel, but I don't know. Yeah, also there's much quicker load times, okay. Oh, okay. No, because like, you know, in general, I'm pretty sure now it's SDKs for software, but maybe in that case it was sandbox because it was really not software. Oh, for crying out loud. Sure. I'm also finding the camera today. No, thank you, because I prefer like having to turn it off and on again than having like minutes with the camera frozen. So give me a second. Okay. Okay. I was not moving and I was like, wait, is it frozen again? Okay, let me know if it freezes again. I've deactivated all the previews. I'm work. Okay, so I was about to say something. Oh yeah. There's also this very cool thing. No, not color. So here in sculpt mode, right? You have your main shape, but then you can go here, and then you're gonna have like sections and things like that. That's pretty cool. And you can have blend, which if you haven't seen, this is one of the coolest things. You can have hard blend and soft blend. So the hard edges here get softened out. This is one of the coolest things in dreams, like blending together. Also there's a horny joke in like hard blend in there, but let's not. But yeah, this is one of the coolest things in dreams. And like experimenting with this and having like, and you can have like natural. Yeah, it's like like natural looking creations, and also you can move the primitives around like this too, and it updates like that. It's really really cool. Like blending is one of the coolest features on the sculpt mode. But the other thing is, well, you can also add like holes like that. So it's also like a native option, really. Probably, yeah. Blending is kind of yummy. And also you can edit looseness like this, so you can. That's a cube. But most importantly, and that was the point I'm getting to, I swear, is that you have this option here, which is varying looseness. So if you do that, flex at the middle are bigger, and flex near edges are smaller. So if you do this, and well, this is the same one, right? But if you deactivate luminoise, you take away the, and then I guess you'll have to make it neater. I wonder if this is because like the cube was made, because look at, like, they're all like diagonal. I don't know if this is because if I do a new one like that, not that, I reduce the looseness, stamp it. Oh my god. Yeah, funny. But yeah, I guess for a cube it's not that big of a deal. But like, when you turn varying looseness on, you see it like restructures. But I thought it worked better, honestly. But yeah, it exists. But yeah, it's another cool option that they added. Chamfer. Gotcha. I don't know if that's a correct word or anything, but in Spanish it's very similar to that, so. Cat. So yeah, a long time ago, I feel like I'm not playing this today, so I'll add it to follow some. I'll add it to play later. I'll check the notifications, I guess. Oh, Ryan was here for me. I love how my dreams legacy is gonna be like the compass and the UI icon. Like over Clan Clone Puzzles and Dynamic Factory. That's my shit. Hey, my compass was in an NIMPY nominated creation. But yeah. I think we've talked about everything. Maybe now is the time to opening dreams.me again. Open the post. Nice intro, yeah. How long has it been? 3 hours. So we can go here. And read through this. I'll swap side because you can't hide the. You know, Chaik has told me she sometimes puts puts this on. Puts these stream like the VODs of the streams to sleep and as background noise, which it's between endearing and hurtful because it's like, oh, you're watching my content, but also like you just feel like it's background noise and boring enough to fall asleep to. But anyway, it's fine. I love you, Chang, if you watch this eventually. Except if you're already asleep by this point. As a personal input, flashed emoji. Huh. But yeah, in any case, after 3 hours of discussing this, let's actually go through. And kind of sad there's no dark mode. So sorry. But here we go, an update on server changes and live service support for Dreams. Alright, so dark mode for the win, and Notion for the win. Dreams, well, that's my title. An update on server changes and live service support for Dreams. Not Dreams Share. Can I change sides now? Big quote. So a wonderful community of dreamers. Dreams is unlike any other game we've worked on at Media Molecule. Just this already, it has been exciting. Challenging and most importantly an unforgettable collaborative journey with you all over the years, from beta to launch, to the first Dream Walk, to the 4th MP Awards. We'd like to share 2 important updates for Dreams in 2023 regarding our upcoming server migration and live service. So up until this point, like, you can already tell the tone. But yeah. Update on live support. As we continue to evaluate and evolve our priorities for the studio and Dreams, we've made the difficult decision to discontinue live support for Dreams after the 1st of September of this year, to shift our focus to an exciting new project. You'll continue to be able to play, create, and share Dreams with others after September. We won't be releasing any more updates to the game or events such as Dreamscom, All Hallows Dreams, or the MP Awards. I don't know if it's after this or in some other comments where they've said Dreamscom 2023 is not happening. But like after September, we will not be releasing this. Does not mean Dreamscom 2023 is not happening, because that's before September. But anyway, incredibly proud of the work we've done in developing Dreams, content releases, great updates, and live events, and we're endlessly grateful to the community for their belief and continuous contribution since launch, and even before launch, honestly. I mean, in beta and early access. Although this is challenging news, we do have a few more updates on the way, including the much anticipated trend. God, yes. This is one thing I was actually not sure was coming out, even before this update. And a significant improvement to animation in our last create mode update. So this is where they'll probably like release everything that's ready. And like, I don't know what tools or what will they do. We will continue to share and celebrate creations in Dreams with the wider world in our social channels, streams, Insider, roundups, and more. This is the weird thing. I guess it makes sense because they have employed people like dedicated to writing about dreams, and if they shift to another project, they cannot write about it because NDA. But yeah, The Insider is basically on Sorry Eyes. It's like a magazine from like of dreams and Media Molecule and things like that. So here it's just an interview with a dev, and here we have like all the, well, hola Miguel, different molecules, but then we have actually like community, members, and like magazines for like the special events. Also telling that the 4th Impy Awards did not have a companion magazine. And then like the weekly roundups. These are the ones that apparently are the ones, like Insider roundups. They're the ones continuing. So that's kind of, holy cow. That's kind of cool because this is like an easy way to highlight dreams, but I really think that this is not the way. As in, people that are not in dreams or do not keep up with dreams do not need like a text version of the best creations of the week. They will not read an article about 3 or 4 creations.
To come on board and ride, but listen.
Uh,
At some point we all reach rock bottom. A need to add
yeah.
little token.
But also like super hyper fixated on dreams and without access to, you know, more interesting, yeah, but like without access to, like with not enough internet connection or access to like watch videos or have a podcast about read about them. But yeah. We will be continuing our in-game curation work to make sure Dreamiverse feels alive and as it always has been. So basically, it feels like they're really shifting like everyone that can work on the new project into the new project, but Dreams has so many like satellite job positions, like writing about dreams, searching through the Dreamiverse to find creations, sharing things with the community and from the community and things like that. So it really feels like they're just keeping these ones in Dreams because it's the only thing they can do. And also like to, you know, feel have some support for Dreams. But it's also like the curation work is great, the insider work is funny, but I don't know how useful it is, honestly. But yeah, I guess it's just like they can't have like a dedicated magazine about their new project because we don't even know what the new project is, so like they can't share all of that, you know. But yeah. Won't be easy message for everyone. It's not been an easy decision. Jim says within community, game developers, thinkers, creative collaborators, and dreamers grow and express themselves. I mean, it's one of the best things we've ever done. Like, let's get maybe onto that. It's I'm sure it's bittersweet. And yeah. At Dreamscom last year, we mentioned a big upcoming change to the Dream server, a necessary update to preserve the security and stability of Dreams, which is home to millions of amazing creations from around the world. Our team has been hard at work on this update, and we're preparing to migrate to our new server in late May. So we knew about this, and it was actually like exciting news, or when they mentioned them, it looked like good news because it was like, okay, improved security, like new servers, like adapting to a new era of Dreams. Well, little did we know, right? But yeah, the complexity of this work has meant we have had to make changes, as not every feature in Dreams has been compatible with the needed modifications to the server, which is weird. We're very hard to get parity between the two where possible, and even make a few improvements along the way. Yo, RG Smith, ASICs. No, when Namco start working Tekken 7 or Grenade. Isn't Tekken like fighting games? So like. Yeah. No, like as I said before, it's not like. It's not to say Dreams is dying, but Dreams had a lot of live, so it was really a service and it had a lot of support, and knowing that A, that's done, B, that's done before completing everything that was promised, and C, that's done not to work on a sequel, it hurts. But yeah, no, I completely get that. This is still weird though. Let's see. You find all the major changes that will be coming with Dreams' new server. By detailing these today, we're providing all our users time before launch to learn more, ask questions, and prepare for the upcoming changes. We'll also be compiling and answering questions and making sure you have any additional info you may need before the new server is live. So please use the Dreams on Me forums to engage with the team. Help on how to, update patch notes, community support, and they'll do a stream next Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. So when the VOD goes to YouTube, the stream will probably have already happened. Because I don't think I can highlight, export, timestamp, because I don't even know how I will timestamp this. And publish the previous Dream Surfing session and this one. But yeah, I might group these together. Might group these two and next week Alum Climb Ago, and those three will be published together, and then I will publish Q4s in YouTube, but that doesn't matter. Be as transparent as possible to ensure smooth transition. Changes are okay. Limits. This is the big one. To preserve the security and stability of the Dream server for all players, and I guess like not having to maintain it in the future as much. Shifting to the new project, there will be a storage limit of 5 gigs from the date of the migration. So your existing creations will not count towards the limits. I wonder if, like, because people are publishing creations now, that's the thing, like that's the weird thing. So storage space 5 gig. I don't feel like that's very limiting. I doubt anyone is at 5 gig right now. Starting on like December 2018 until now. Photos, that's kind of a shame, but like photos you can export, you can treat, you can do anything with them, so 256 representative photos of your creations. It's fine. I'll skip time was low because that's a lot of lyrics. This is probably the biggest one. Why 256 creations online and not like 512 or 1024 or 2048? If this is 5 times and this is twice, this being the same is a bit weird. But I guess it is what it is, so. And this is the weirdest one. So 1024 versions across all creations means that creations, I guess locally saved versions of creations, or that you can have at most 4 on average, 4 versions per creation, locally saved. It's weird. At least this one is 512 per creation, so yeah, that's good. These are all powers of, not that. These are all powers of 2, if you're wondering like why the weird numbers. So this is weird. Because it's shared across all creations. That's really weird. 512 versions per creation. That's fine. That's no big deal. But yeah, this is probably like the hard test limit, or the bottleneck in general. But yeah. But finally, we'll be able to delete online creations instead of just archiving them, which is good. And they are removing archiving as a feature, which doesn't really matter, honestly. This is interesting because releasing content, like we have simplified release screens, making it easy for you to publish Dreams creations. This has been so damn confusing since day one. I'm glad they're doing this. Hopefully it's not like more confusing because you know how these changes sometimes go, but yeah. And this is big, actually, being able to release creations as public that contain private content. Like before, if you release something as public, everything that was contained in that had to be public too. So I don't know how this, and this is like this might actually this might like alter how versioning and like relations and hierarchy and genealogy, Jesus, that's the word, works in Dreams, because up until now it was very strict, and like deleting a scene that contained like several assets was fine, but if you removed an asset you had to remove the scene too. And the other way around, if a scene had an asset that was private, you were not able to publish it as public. You had to publish the asset first or publish them together as public, because like everything could be remixed and things like that. So I wonder how this will work now. Hopefully it's like easier to do and like there's no confusion, or it doesn't lead to, because there's ways people have found to circumvent like genealogy and removing credit from people. So hopefully that doesn't make that easier. So yeah, but like the genealogy is kind of broken, so yeah. We've improved clarity for versions. Global local version limit is called out where it wasn't previously. We've named the 2 key versions latest of line and lead. That's fine. Right now, there's like a green icon that shows you which one is the published one, and then if you have like new versions after that, they're all like either privately or locally indicate it. That's the only thing, like the version limit is global now, locally, which is weird, but okay. Price bubbles are getting removed. Which it's weird, like it was a remnant from Little Big Planet, honestly. Like I don't think anyone really used them. But creations that included prizes in bubbles will now display empty bubbles. This is weird, especially because the creations that actually did use prize bubbles were Media Molecule creations. So like Art's Dream, like the main collectible, like the native collectible from Dreams was the prize bubble, like the one that showed up in menus and inventory and like completion percentage and things like that was the prize bubbles. So that's weird. No more community jams from April 2023 and after the last will no longer be holding additional community jams. The Hall of Fame will still feature previous jam content, which is nice. But yeah. This one is big because it means, and they've already done things like that, it means that game devs from PlayStation can
alter trophies after release. So games with online trophies can remove them.
This is huge for trophy hunters. If only, like, okay, single player games or offline games with online trophies are the worst. But if it comes to a point where those servers are taken down, they can edit the trophy list. This is ImQuest, but this is the trophies. It means that there's no excuse for all the other games in existence to have trophies that are literally unobtainable after an update. So fuck everyone except Media Molecule. That was gratuitous, but like, come on. So yeah, they're removing these two creative input quests, which, like, it's just fine. But they were tied to trophies. So if you have already earned non-fungible trophies, NFTs, yes. This will not impact you, including if you have already earned a Dreams PSN Platinum Trophy. New players of Dreams will be able to unlock replacement trophies. If you have PSN trophies in progress in relation to your creativity, you will lose any progress to complete the new requirements. Which, you know, it's fair enough. Like, if they're changing a trophy for another one, and you were halfway done with the original trophy, but you're not halfway done with the new thing, that's fine. You will have to perform the following. You will have to carry out the play and edit of the new templates. If you have completed this already, you will only need to walk through the play and edit exit door again to re-trigger the PSN trophies. I don't know if you already had the old trophies, if these will be unlocked by default, or if you will have to unlock them. But it will be weird because if you already have the platinum, but you're missing 2 trophies, that's gonna be weird. They're just modifying the conditions for this. This is another big one. Like, they can modify, and they've already done things like this before. But great opportunity to bring it up. Devs can change trophy requirements. I think this was visit another player's home space, and it's gonna be a player's profile because I think they're deleting home spaces. And these, like, the bubbles now are getting removed, so I guess, like, it's just gonna be popping the bubbles without actually earning the prizes. The audio importer is temporarily being removed. I would not, like, I hate to be the guy, but it might not come back. I mean, this is, you know, good and promising. But I don't know if I would expect this to actually come to term. Removing the Twitch integration, Twitch body, I don't care because it's broken already. But the Twitch integration, that might be also like the Twitch link, like, because the Twitch body, I think that also, it was actually a Dreams body, but because it's on Twitch, the Dreams body. This might also include like the streaming now tag, the tag name on your profile and things like that. So that's kind of more sad than the body itself. We're removing the message of the day. Honestly, that's good. Even if Dreams continued like it is. Won't receive a notification when they are mentioned in a creation title of version note. That's weird. Why? You must now page through comments. I don't know exactly what this means. But if it's instead of scrolling, it's like a pager, that would be nice. What's the rest tomorrow? Okay, so good. I fucked myself. What better time, eh? Yeah. Finish now, if I just do it. Bet. Let's do that. That would actually be a proper send-off, honestly. You will no longer be able to view what other player has been doing via other player activity feed. What they played, like, left a comment on, took a photo of. It's fine. Relate to a creation owned release. This is like... This is the only... bad thing. Like, version and released creation. Like, if you follow someone, you want to know when they release something, you know, or when they update something, not when they like something. Like, you're not following... Well, I guess it depends on, like, it would be cool if there was two kinds of follow, like the creator follow and the player follow, or the social follow. So you could follow, like, them as a creator, so you knew when they released new things or when they updated their things. And then, like, if you're interested in, like, if you know you share tastes or likings and like you might want to play the same creations they have played or liked and things like that, that would be like another kind of follow. But they will not do that. Scoreboards will only show the top 100 entries. That's kind of dumb, but I guess that saves on memory. And we're removing the friends scoreboards. This is the worst. Well, that's fine. I wonder, I guess, like, if, like, the only reason I can say this is to save on memory. So, like, you always get to compare it to the number 100, and if you have a worse score, you don't even get a rank. But then, I guess, like, there's no actual ranks 101 plus. So, I don't know. And here we go. Home spaces are not... Okay, they're not removing them, but you only have yours. Which, like, it was nice, because this way you could see, like, what others were up to and what they did on their cozy little thing. And it's fine. Like, if everything was like this, it would be completely understandable. This was a big thing planned for multiplayer, so the home spaces being there. Yeah, that's literally it. This is the way to check your score quickly. But I guess if there's only 100 and you're not in the top 100, I mean, first of all, just with 100, it's easy to find yourself if you're in the top 100. If you're not gonna be there. So, but yeah, this was a big thing for multiplayer. Like, they talked about like big, like the idea, the original idea of home spaces, and like being able to gather in home spaces and have like portals to other creations and dreamers and things like that. So that was a feature thought for multiplayer. So obviously not having multiplayer anymore at all, ever. There's no point. So, linking to creations and players by ID, titles, and description will no longer be possible. This is, I guess, like, it's very niche, but for people using it, it was very useful. Which is, wow, like, why not? It's literally just a hyperlink. To open a creation in game from in Dreams, that's what I said before. You will not be able to launch. Oh, here we go. Live tools. The play now, the send to aim, and the keyboard entry. This is like, oh god, this is the worst one. This is very handy. Well, this is basically the same for levels and assets. Like, this is probably like tools option in the header user account menu will be removed. What was the tools? This one. Okay. PS4. Yeah, sure. But like, will you still have like these tools? Or will this be removed too? Because this is very handy to actually get thumbnails. And in your ones to edit things. Like that. This is for Dream Stats, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. Also, this and this are the same. So that's interesting, but okay. Taking photos not limited to maximum 15 photos before saving. Fine, like, just means that you have to save. It's not a biggie. I thought this was already the case, but okay. That's fine. This is weird. Like, I guess this is part of the functionality that doesn't work in the new server, but like, why would you make it worse to filter and search and just say that? And this is probably one of the most hurtful ones. Like the Dreams demo disappearing, the trial version. Which was like a great way for people to try Dreams for free and see if it was for them. And this is completely fine. That's not nothing lost, things gained. Okay. Okay. So here we go. frequently asked questions. How can it be frequent if they just publish this? But yeah, the actual fuck was publishing this. No, but the actual frequent asked questions or the Q&A will be in this stream I was mentioning. So let's see how that goes. But okay, what does this mean for Media Molecule? Media Molecule will continue to work on bringing joyful, playful, innovative experience. Funny how they don't say creative, which was like the main point. But yeah, we're a project that we're not ready to talk about at this stage, but stay tuned for more information in the future. Yes, again, it's exciting, but we'll see. Why have you decided to end live support for Dreams? We're very I love how, like, I understand it, but like answering like a why with a we're very proud of what we've done. Whilst we've always had the desire to build on the foundation of Dreams and expand the experience, when reviewing our plans, we were not able to define a sustainable path. This is such corporate lingo. And we made the decision to change the studio product strategy. Ugh. Like management, press releases, and and then followed by this. It's obviously disappointing to many people inside and outside of them. And yeah, they definitely, like, they're not starting work on the new thing now. So the people that have worked on it, I guess, like, are excited for it. But yeah, we'll be releasing our last update, except critical bug fixes that will continue, of course, like if needed, in September. But Dreams continues after September, just without the support of Media Molecule. Yeah, so this is basically like restating that. And we've already talked about this, releasing Tren, the server migration, the 2 updates, and that's it. You can still buy Dreams, not the trial version for free, but the full game, but you will not experience live support, I guess, at all. But yeah, here it is. We won't be continuing community events such as All Hallows, Dreams Impy Awards, or Dreamscom. It's not that bad or heartbreaking, I guess, in general, knowing that the devs, or like the people working on those, are working on something else. But I still feel Dreamscom 2023, which happens before, or should happen before September, should happen. As like one final community event. Critical bug patches. You can report via ticketing, which sure. Here's the other big one. Is the studio working on Dreams 2? Media Molecule is working on a new project. We are not ready to talk about this yet. We can confirm that it is not Dreams 2 or the Dreams IP. So it's not like a direct Dreams sequel. So IP does not, like, it's not just Dreams, like Little Big Planet 1, 2, 3 all are of the same intellectual property. So yeah. It's not like of the Dreams franchise or saga or product. Even though even though they literally had job listings and hired people with I hate not remembering the exact wording of it, but it was something like Dreams franchise or Dreams um, it was like implying that Dreams, like the IP was not gonna be limited to just Dreams. Little Big Hub moment, but yeah. I fear they fear it'll be flooded with hate. That might be the reason, yeah. But I've seen community members say like to have a community led Dreamscom 2023, and that might work. Let's see if there's any kind of support by Media Molecule, and it can be made like into a positive send-off, let's say, at least to this era of Dreams. But yeah. Will in Dreams.me will still be supported. Will be still accessible, but without new features. But as we saw before, there will still be Insider. And the forums will be active, which is interesting. That's the same question as before. Because it's in Dreams, not in Dreams. And here is a big one, because no, there is no way to export creations from Dreams. And that is, of course, like, yeah, music and video you can export because they're just multimedia. But this one's one of the features that was in research and development, and was promised and confirmed. 3D exporting, at least, maybe not full game exports, but sculpt exports. And we know it's possible because John Beach and other molecules, I think, have spoken about how they have 3D printed models directly from Dreams. So yeah. You will be still able to reinstall Dreams. I mean, I feel like that just goes with like having bought the game, but once again, careful with owning things digitally. We will continue to support Dreams on social media. Here it includes live streams, so I wonder what they'll do with this. But yeah. And I guess this encompasses everything that was promised or highly rumored. In one question, will multiplayer, PS5, PSVR 2 versions, or 3D printing come to Dreams? No. That's everything that will come. So this was never confirmed, but it made like logical sense that if it's a first-party PlayStation studio doing a first-party PlayStation game that takes advantage of old software and tools, they would make it compatible with the new one. But no. So I'm guessing this has to do like with the new project. They might be focused on this. But my fear was if Dreams was like, if the project started before the PS4 was released and it got published at the end of the PS4 cycle or life cycle, literally the year the PS5 came out, if now they start a new project after the PS5 releases, will it be ready before the PS6 releases? And if so, will it also be like on the same year the PS6 releases, and will it be like still tied to the new generation? Or will they finally learn? Or is like literally that like the reason behind doing this, so they can actually have it generation agnostic, let's say, or like even have PC compatibility from the get-go? Who knows? But multiplayer was on the Trello board. What happened? Which is not saying what happened. Because what happened would be saying, actually, why? Like, answering, why are you not doing this with we're not doing this is not answering why. Or what happened. But I get it. Like, business, corporation, all that. A lot of people are creating technical update to ensure stability of dreams. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they had this server migration in mind before knowing that they were ending service. Actually, the server migration might be, or like if they wanted to do multiplayer, this might have been also a requirement for it, but who knows. Like that, everything is like speculation. And so yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. So yeah, I think we've discussed everything and we were accurate about all the information. Yo, Chike! So much for disconnecting. So yeah. I'm glad you're here though. Missed you too. Also, I can only assume those all 8 DMs are yours, huh? So yeah, lovely seeing you here, but we are... let me finish this real quick. I'll finish later. Make you finish later. Anyway, yeah, this is everything from the official post, and I burn alert again because we're going back to light mode on the original post. They released this on the 11th. So this was very sad. And again, you can... My imp has gone. You can see it here. It was posted on the 11th. Like, I'm not gonna say anything that I haven't said already in these 4 hours. I'm moderately excited for what Media Molecule has in store. Because Media Molecule has only released like banger games and everything has been based on creativity. I guess the least creative game from Media Molecule, or like the one that had like the most limited amount of creative tools, was Tearaway. That was like a 3D platformer with a bit of like artistic expression in the paper world. I literally have to play Tearaway on Unfolded on stream, and I will. I really want to. I really want to play all Media Molecule games, like the big ones, the ones that they have on the page, and then I have played, because I think there's no point in playing like. And I don't have a Vita for Little Planet Vita, and I don't have like, I don't think like Little Planet karting. Did they even do them? Because like they're not in the games list. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna go back to Little Planets 1 and 2. I'm actually also 3, to 100% them and everything like that, and then play Tearaway. But Vita Terror was damn nice. No, and like Media Molecule has like also a history of taking advantage of the hardware they're developing too. So like using all the features, so like using the gyros, using the touchpad, using the on the Vita like the back panel thing that nobody used. They really squeeze and take advantage of everything the hardware has to offer. And they do impressive, creative software. So definitely excited for what Media Molecule has in store for the future. But still hurts a lot to see Dreams go this way. And I know it's not like Dreams literally dying fully and immediately, but it is the end of the live service. It is a very like strict and hard limit to each user, and that will come to bite us in the long term. And it's really like a psychological, like mental hit, especially after being promised so much and being delivered like an amazing tool that has no right being this cool and revolutionary and being this overlooked and ignored, but that did not bring or did not include multiplayer, 3D exporting, or versions for the current generation or PC. And those are, with the new hard limits, the most disappointing things, and especially how it was communicated and how everything has been handled since 2016 even, which has led to like this feeling of, it's like bittersweet because you know something good's coming, but it really feels like being dumped over like a text message. So, and also like being told that they found someone else because they're starting a new project. And I've already used that metaphor, but yeah. And I know it's also hard for the devs because I'm sure like this silence has been imposed. And they cannot talk about it. But and the official post had hints of it being also disappointing for people inside MM, and also being like a management decision that might not even be like a Media Molecule management decision, but like a Sony telling Media Molecule to like cut ties with Dreams and do something profitable for once. Which brings me to the final point of fuck capitalism. No, but actually like yes, but maybe I'm actually missing my shot here, and it has not been like, maybe profit was not the main reason, but it feels so much like that. Like, it feels like Dreams was operating at a loss from the start. It feels like it has been a marketing failure because Sony has not been able to market this. It really feels like it has not been profitable enough for Sony to maintain. But still, it might create an opportunity for a new project that is even more revolutionary and is even more versatile than Dreams. Like, Dreams was way more revolutionary and way more versatile than Little Big Planet. So I can only hope for that, even if the reasoning behind this termination was economical. Hopefully the minds at work at Media Molecule can turn this into like an opportunity for something better. And maybe like the people that were already working on this have actually, like, you know, the memes between like people building things and doing things and producing things, and like creating things, and like, so like the builders and the managers, like Yeah, this feels like the managers telling like the shift to the people that were actually doing the things. Yeah. And not the other way around. Not like the people actually like doing or working on dreams thinking, hey, we need to start from scratch. But I might be wrong. But this is really the impression it gives. It really gives the impression of this was not a technical requirement. This was not a creative decision. This was a management change. Yeah, there was no DLC or paid content like in Little Big Planet. So yeah, like this is really, and I think this is shared across like all the community, that it really feels like a management decision and an economically based, because they're a business after all, and they're owned by Sony after all, and they're a first party studio after all. So, oh god. Wait, but how close to the water are you? I also like it's America, so like a gun is always relevant, I guess. Coping with humor. So yeah. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I would say pretty close, yeah. Don't get your feet eaten. In summary, god. Fair enough. In summary, I guess, and to conclude this 4-hour stream of just rambling about dreams instead of actually playing a long climb ago. I guess that'll be next week. Sad times. Bittersweet taste. Excited for next thing. But sad that Dreams was not like did not accomplish everything it was set out to do, and we were not able to get, or they were not able to fulfill everything that was promised. And I know it probably hurts like the people that promised it or like worked or was working on it more than us. Just receiving it feels like a bratty child wanting more right now. But we were promised all that, and we were excited about it, and we had no reason to, like, again, all the job listings were for Dreams. There was the plan, there was the roadmap, and the phrasing of after like product evaluation and studio management, it really feels like it was not a decision of, hey, we want to do something more. It's just we have to do something else to get money. In any case, even if that's a situation, even if this is very sad and we're not getting any new events or updates or features or live support or anything, Dreams as it is, and even more probably after the create, animation, and trend updates, Dreams is a revolutionary tool, and it's a very impressive tool that has marked a lot of people and has brought people together from around the world and has connected like-minded people and has introduced a lot of people into game making or creative arts. and has made it way easier to express creativity and artistic inclinations for everyone that had a PS4 or a PS5. So, and actually, there's people that have bought a PS4. I guess not that, maybe not a PS5, but definitely a PS4 back in the day to get Dreams. Like, I know people that have. So, Carlo did. So, and to me, like, it made me start streaming. It made me, well, meet everyone I've met through streaming, but also get involved in the Spanish community, which was already like 3 people through the years. So it was dead from the get-go here. So it's not like the gut punch is not as... Yo, thank you for the follow. I'm not changing the follower icon though. It's... So yeah, the gut punch of like getting these news, like we were more prepared, like knowing that the Spanish community is basically dead already. So like it was always like a hard job to try to like keep it alive and bring people together and things like that. But hey. And when you're used to everyone just leaving Dreams or just trying it out and not doing... Well, and also like I had left Dreams, not completely aside or not left Dreams completely, but I was playing way less recently, which I feel like is also like, yeah, job contributed a lot and not having time contributed a lot, because I knew like I needed to dedicate so much into Dreams to actually create something in Dreams, and I did not have that much time. But it's also telling that that happened a bit before actually getting a job, and like the big dip in hours from 900 to 200 a year was before starting a job. It was still during like uni and pandemic, and I don't wanna like go back to that again, but yeah, I had no time then either. But yeah. However, Dreams is not dead. Like, this will definitely have an impact. There's definitely a lot of people that will decide to move on to another game engine or something else. There's definitely people that will not play Dreams anymore and just leave it at that. There's gonna be like the community that had already like shrunk a lot, at least of like active dreamers, will shrink further, and Dreams will take a hit, and that's undeniable. But Dreams is not dead. Even after September, Dreams will continue to live on, without new and exciting updates or events, without features that we thought were coming. But that's also a bit of a relief, because we don't have to expect anything. It's like playing Little Big Planet after release. We knew that was like the tool set we had, and this is the tool set for Dreams after the new the final update. This will be the final tool set, and if someone wants to create in Dreams, they're free to do it, they're free to publish it, they're free to play anything without competing for the impies, without being interrupted by community jams or special events. There will still be like the weekly roundups. It seems like they might still be streams, so they might actually still like curate and play Media Molecule, I mean, some cool creations over the weeks, at least until Media Molecule can announce their new project, and then there might be a shift. If there's like a spiritual successor to Dreams, people might jump into that, and if not, they might just play the new Media Molecule game and get back to Dreams, because that's like the creative suite. And yeah, Dreams is so accessible. And going back to Alex Evans's interview, it really is like everyone wants it to be more, but it really is a sketchbook and a 3D one at that. So it's a really nice place to prototype and get going and try things and do music, paint, sculpt, create animations, and even games, or at least mechanics and logic and things like that. And just do it quickly. And, you know, without having to worry about compatibilities or like features or like loadings and things like and like technical details of the like back end of game design. But yeah, they will become Distant Dreamers, and it's not like by chance that my Discord status is Distant Dreamers since way back then, because this is how I felt a bit. Like, I still have played Dreams consistently, and I have multiple dream surfing sessions and videos. I try to do more than one dream surfing a month, but still it felt like I was not creating, and that was the part that was really, I was passionate about creating in Dreams, and that was a bit lost. And I always wanted to get back, but I guess now I'll have to gauge like how much do I want to invest in this and how much time do I actually have, because I haven't got enough time. So yeah, in any case, Dreams is not dead, but Dreams is gonna take a hit. We'll see how it works after the server update. We'll see what the new created update is. We'll see how it goes after September. And let's see what Media Molecule has in store for us, because that's also exciting. So yeah, this is sad, but we have always fought like a losing battle of knowing how amazing Dreams is and how underappreciated it is, and I guess that will not change now. So yeah, let's keep on dreaming until we see exactly what the future holds for us. So yeah, next week, next stream is gonna be finally a long climb ago, and we'll see from there. So hopefully this discussion has been enjoyable for anyone that's watched until now. I hope we can continue dreaming, and I will always have Dreams in my heart for, again, making me start streaming, making me want to share creations, and I started actually creating on stream, and then playing others and give feedback for other creations, and meeting people and you know, finding a cool community, not without its drama, not without its overreactions, but you know, a creative, artistic place. So yeah, I think this is everything for the VOD. I think I've said everything multiple times. Literally, the very last thing I want to show is literally last thing. As I said, we were gonna do a long climb ago, but we should get the elephant talk about the elephant in the room, or the LED in the room. This is LED. If you haven't played Art's Dream, it's an elephant. It's pretty cool. She's the companion of D-Bag. So yeah, I guess the elephant in the room took the entirety of the stream. So I hope you enjoyed, metaphorically, LED. I hope to see you on any other stream or VOD or Dreams content. See you around. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Love you all. Love Dreams. Dreams is not dead. Hope we can get through this moment and continue dreaming. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.